This is Julie Muller. This video I'm going to give you tips and tricks for quizzes, particularly working with quizzes in a question bank that might have been imported in from a Moodle classroom. So the first question I get is, where is my question bank? If you click on quizzes in your course navigation and you click on the cog in the upper right hand corner, you're going to find the option to manage question banks. What occurs is when it comes in, any question bank category that you had in Moodle is going to be listed here in your course question bank. And if you want to see what questions are in there, you can click on that question bank. And then if you want to see that particular question, you can click on edit and you'll see what the question is, what are the answers, what it thinks is the correct answer. Okay, if you need to make any changes, you can update, etc. You can also move questions around inside a question bank. If you wanted to create a brand new question bank, you can, and then start moving questions into that new question bank. All right, back over to quizzes. The next odd thing that happens if you import a classroom from Moodle into Canvas is if you have quizzes set up, you will find them located in practice quizzes as they were imported as a practice quiz, even if they were, a regular quiz in your Moodle classroom. What that means is, of course, it's not even showing up in your gradebook right now because it is a practice quiz, which is one of the features of Canvas, is being able to create one that is not for grade. So I need to come in here. Let's go with my InDesign Chapter 1. And first thing that I need to do is to change this from a practice quiz into a graded quiz. That's easy to do by clicking on the edit in the upper right hand corner and changing the field that says practice quiz into, give it a minute to load, practice quiz into a graded quiz. All right, I'm going to save those changes and talk to you about one other odd thing that happens, which is the way quizzes are done in Canvas. You have to do a little bit of the math for Canvas. Right now, this is set up to, if I click on my questions here, to pick 20 random questions out of my group, which is actually how I had it set up in Moodle. So that's great, except that it's by default assigns only 1 point per question. So now I have a 20-point question quiz when I intend for it to be out of 100 points. So if I want to change that, I'm going to have to go in here and edit this question group and actually change this from 1 point to 5 points. Update the group. That's very important. You click on that update group and not get lured into this big save down here, which we are going to do. I'm going to click save to save the quiz. So you have to do both places, update the group and save the quiz. Okay, so now I have a graded quiz that's 100 points. So to that end, I thought it would be nice to point out that what you're probably going to want to do, especially with your ODC kids, is make sure that you do quizzes that evenly can be metered out into even points. So that you don't get a 99.99 if you have say 30 questions in there instead. So either add or remove questions so that you have quizzes that have the 5, 10, 20, 25, 40, 50, 100 questions, and you're going to make your life a lot simpler. All right, the final thing that I'm going to show you is that when you're creating a quiz, if you want to just add a brand new, I'm going to just start with this little unnamed quiz that I have here. Is that if you want to create if you want to randomly pull questions out of a question bank, it's really easy to do. So I'm going to go questions. I'm going to add a new question group, and I'm going to call it my random questions. Maybe that just let me know that it's random questions. I'm going to link it to a question bank. So let's say I'm going to do, again, I'm going to click on Chapter 3's question bank here. And I'm going to, let's say I'm going to do 25 out of that one for 4 points apiece. All right, I'm going to create the group, and voila, I have 25 random questions out of this question bank with 4 points per question. So I have a perfect 100-point quiz. All right, of course, you can create brand new questions on the sly or some other additional things on finding questions. If you want to find a specific question, you can find a specific question out of your quiz bank if that's the specific one you want, or you want all of the ones in that group. you can do that and add those questions. And again, then adjust your points so that it evenly goes into 100 if that is your goal. Okay, so that is another way to, oh, and then if you've added, for example, solidly like 10, 20 questions into it's faster to assign those point values if you create, even if it's not random questions, it's actual questions, create the group. And then instead of picking the random, you would do that select all questions. Okay, that about does it for the highlights, tips, and tricks on quizzes. As I said, the number one thing when you're importing quizzes is that you're going to find them in the practice quiz, and you need to adjust them and their points. Because you see here, I have this one graded, but I don't have the points worked out yet for a 100-point quiz. But I've shown you how to do that. If you have any questions, contact me, and I'll be happy to help you.